Hello again YouTube, my name is Bree, and in today's video we're going to be doing a speed paint. And I call it a speed paint even though this video is way longer than usual. But I sped it up so it's still a speed paint, maybe, I don't know. So this sketch I worked on a couple weeks ago, and I kind of used it as a way to cope with some basically high expectations, and I'll get into that a bit more later. But I had this sketch sitting around. It was what I planned to do for my next video, and yeah, so life gets in the way, and suddenly I found myself making this painting today. I had worked on it a little bit yesterday, and it was not going well for me. So I think the first 3 video clips were yesterday and the rest are today, and then I just like binge painted this to try to get it done in time for the video because I was determined to hit my goal. So as you may know, I'm really trying to stay on track, doing a video every other week, being released on Tuesday, and I had nothing prepared, and I worked my tail off on this today, and this is definitely a case of finished not perfect. I absolutely wanted to do more here. In my head, this was a much different, more detailed piece, and the good thing about the way I left it is that for the most part, I can go back and continue to work it. I did a couple things I'm not happy with, but overall, I can continue to work on this and tinker with it in the future, and yeah, but you know, I probably won't film that. I'll probably just do it on my own time if I have the energy to. If not, it's a concept I might go back to at some point. But, so going back, before I continue actually, I'll go ahead and say that this is done in my Etchr A4 sketchbook with Schmincke Watercolor paints, and maybe I should go ahead and speak to some of the problems I was having because I think you'll get to that before long in this video. So yeah, I haven't done a larger piece in a while. The last time I sketched or painted in an A4 size was the fox piece that I think you'll get glimpses of occasionally or at the end, but that's another video on my YouTube channel, so you have access to that or you've already seen it, in which case you're awesome. But yeah, so this is the first time I've worked in this size in a while. It's still an uncomfortable size for me. I like working small, so this is just such a A4 is not that big, but for me it's a massive painting. And then I've been working in cellulose paper so much lately that I kind of forgot how long cotton stayed wet, so I ran into some mistakes pretty early on. So one of them, you probably didn't notice because it was driving me crazy. Doesn't mean anyone else picked up on it, but I kept lifting color from where I was trying to make darker marks, and that was driving me nuts. So it was the opposite of where it was supposed to be. Like there was a spot in the cheek that kept looking like a highlight because I kept picking up pigment instead of putting it down, and it's just the cellulose paper dries so quickly that I forgot how long cotton paper stayed wet. So that was one thing, like today I was really cognizant of is this paper damp, is that the effect I want to achieve right now? If not, okay, let's step away, go clean something or do something else, and then we'll get back to it. The other issue I had right from the get-go was I've been working with limited palettes a lot. So in my last few videos, I think I did something with maybe 4 or 5 different colors. And for this one, I decided to pull out my Schmincke Watercolors, which is the 48 tin set. And I've been using that for years and found myself immediately overwhelmed. So that was just unexpected. And suddenly I just was panicking in the beginning. I didn't know how to mix colors. I didn't know how to work. Nothing was looking harmonious. And ultimately I ended up basically backing up and just using select colors. And even that I kind of messed up because I had like, oh, I'll just use Indanthrone Blue. I think Phthalo Blue. I used 2 reds. No, I used only really, I probably used 2 cool reds, but mostly just used 1, and I think it was Carmine, and Yellow Ochre. And I did throw in some other colors from time to time, but that was the bulk of this painting. For the background, I used Cerulean from Daniel Smith and Moonglow from Daniel Smith just to get that granulating. I knew kind of like what colors I wanted in the background. I'm not happy with how I applied it, but it happens. But yeah, so, oh, excuse my voice. But yeah, so that's kind of how I went forward. Oh no, I remember the other red I used was, nope, can't remember words. It's the red, cadmium red light. I'm like, it's one of those poisonous ones. So yeah, cadmium red light for a warmer red. So yeah, I things were going better once I kind of restricted myself to a simpler color set, but it just never happened before. I always just went wild with my paints and didn't have any issues, but today I had issues, or I guess today and yesterday. So yeah, I guess I'm being really sold on the whole limited color palette. We'll see if that continues. Maybe one day I'll actually make just a watercolor palette that's like 12 pans and that's all I use. Keep things real simple. We'll see. Oh, but yeah, so the whole thing with the Indent Throne, I thought I was using Indent Throne and I couldn't get the colors I was trying to get, and it was very confusing. And then finally I stopped and realized Indent Throne is one of my Daniel Smith paints, and I was using my Schmincke paint, so it was indigo. Just like little things were throwing me off big time, which I guess ties into the theme of this painting, which is expectations. Clearly my expectations going into this painting were too high for me, and I wasn't prepared for it in many ways. But yeah, one of the issues I had was that I wanted to do so much more with this, and yet I gave myself an unreasonable time frame, and I ended up rushing. For me, this excuse me, wow, okay, this video took this painting. I had 6 hours and 45 minutes of footage. I would have liked to have easily spent another like 10 hours on this. I just pushed myself to get stuff down so quickly, and I skipped over some of the steps I normally do, and I think it suffered for it. There's a lot of places I'm looking at it now and I could go, yeah, I wish I had done a lot more value. I did more with the hands. They're so flat in a way. Yeah, they really are. But, you know, for the purpose of this, and like I said, I could go back to it and build on it more later. It is what it is. It's a sketchbook page. I don't need to like go crazy with everything, but yet I put such high expectations on myself, and it worked out well, I guess, because that was the whole theme and it got me in the same mindset. So basically I did the sketch because I was dealing with a lot of stress, anxiety about things that really don't matter. I guess for me, I put a lot of expectations on myself, and I perceive those that are set, or I perceive there to be more expectations on me than probably exist. So an example, at work, I am a software engineer, and every once in a while it comes up, hey, there's a new manager job, I think you should apply for it. And I don't want to be a manager. So every time I hear that, I feel it's either people telling me they want me to be their manager, or a manager telling me they want me to be their peer. And because it's been said enough times, I feel like I'm letting people down, and that's something I don't want to do. And so every time a new manager position opens up and I reject, I don't even apply for it, I feel I'm letting people down and I'm hurting them, and that's not something I want to do. But at the same time, I'm not ready to take on that kind of work. I'm a very happy code monkey, and I want to continue being in that position. I guess I'm honored that they want me to be in that position, or maybe they're secretly trying to get rid of me. I don't think that's it. But yeah, those kind of things like really like eat away at my head. So for this particular case, I guess like one of the things is that management role. Another thing, and I don't know if this is going to happen, so I could be speaking completely prematurely about this, but I was offered the opportunity to go to these classes. It's an online school. You're supposed to commit like 5 to 10 hours a week, and the complete duration of the learning path I'd be on is 18 months. And it's a huge commitment. And for this one, I actually am really interested in because it is a technical path. I didn't bring water upstairs, so oops, I'm just gonna lose my voice here. Cut out that little cough later. So yeah, it's something I'm actually really interested in, but at the same time, my brain immediately went haywire as soon as I accepted a nomination for it, because it might mean giving up art or reducing art or giving up YouTube. And I hate to give up YouTube. I hate to give up painting because it's something I've fallen in love with since I finished school. It's something I didn't really have time for while I was in class, and it's something I've really committed myself to after I graduated. So no promises there. I mean, I don't know if I'll even get into the program, and if I do, I don't know if it will really be so many hours of commitment that I won't be able to do art, YouTube, whatever. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. That's all we can do. But if it happens, it happens. So that was, I guess, another item that was getting to me. And then just normal like work stuff. I think it was around the peer review time. It's also tax season, which is why I didn't really get started on this painting yesterday, was because I was doing my taxes. Excuse me. Oh man, it's been a long day. I've been painting all day. So, where was I? Yeah, so taxes is always a lot. Just trying to get, for those of you who aren't American, I don't know if you've heard, but our tax system is kind of ridiculous. Like anybody you get money from, so like your job, your investments, your interest at your bank, any stock sales, you get paperwork for all that, and it's just line items you have to enter into either forms or software. And there are write-offs, so if you're paying off student loans or a mortgage, you could write those off. And if you make charitable donations, and you have to populate this whole thing, and then it goes, congratulations, you owe us money. So you then have to go pay them after you've already bought the software. So taxes are such a pain. If you're American, you know the system. You don't like the system. No one likes doing their taxes, and I am so envious of other countries where it's a few check boxes, or the government just sends you a card going, hey, we overpaid, or we overcharged you, here's some money back, because that sounds amazing. Another tangent. I feel bad because I was tired in my last video, and in this one I'm just completely frazzled, but yeah, I've been at a desk for too long. So, and then just, I guess, other expectations. I've been trying to eat better. I've been trying to take better care of myself. I recently started a new skincare routine just because I do suffer from eczema and acne, and the only time I really don't have acne is when my eczema is too bad. So it's like this back and forth game of, yeah. So I'm trying to find new products and take better care of my skin because I'm not young anymore, and I don't want to waste away. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know what I expected to record right now, but I'm not sure this was it. And yeah, not gonna apologize because I get called out every time I apologize. So yeah, I put a lot of expectations on myself. I want to do everything I do to the best of my ability. I work really hard, both at my job, on my art. Hopefully it shows. And this piece, just struggling through it today, partially due to time constraints, partially due to the other factors I mentioned earlier, and the fact that painting 5 hands is not the easiest task. It's worn me out, and yeah. Oh man, what am I talking about? So yeah, I guess I don't really have too much to say about the painting itself that I haven't already said. Going back to it in the future, I would like to make the hands more solid. I wasn't really sure how I wanted to approach them. maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I did a painting that was kind of in a similar vein. I think I called it Control, and I think it was the first time I used Etchr's watercolor paper. So it was a big deal, and it was kind of similar. I think it was more than a 3/4 view. Like, he was tilted away, and there were two kind of like purplish hands kind of with long fingernails grabbing him. And I think I felt really out of control at the time. I think at that time I wasn't sleeping well or something. I don't really remember the details, and my mind was just going crazy. So I guess for me, like, these clawed hands kind of are like inner demons, or things that are just, generally messing with you. My brain gremlins, whatever you want to call it. And so for me, this was just kind of showing these hands coming at all directions and just being overwhelming. And I guess for me in this, because I've said it like 800 times, it was just me stressing and dealing with all these expectations I put on myself, and I feel others put on me that they probably don't. It's probably all in my head, so it fits. Oh man, I need some water. Ooh, and my friend is messaging me about Dresden Files, so I'm now distracted. I'm a big book fan, and I love talking about books, and I don't read the same books as other people that I've known, that I've been close to recently, so finding people who talk about the same books is very exciting for me. And yeah, I spent a lot of today listening to an audiobook, so I at least have that. Pretty happy. Yeah, so I know this is a longer video. I don't know if I feel like recording all this audio because I don't really have much to say. I do hope you're all doing well. I am doing better. I am working through my little brain demons, so I will be fine. It helps to know that, to really think through it and realize most of my problems, most of my expectations are internal or completely perceived. And so once you realize it's all just stresses you're putting on yourself for no reason, it's easier to get past it. Art's always going to be, for me, I think, a little stressful because nothing ever just works out like you want it to. But I'm trying to, it's Sketchbook. I mean, granted, everything I do is in sketchbooks, but I'm not here to make money. I'm just here to have fun, to put ideas on paper, and to have something to look back on. So I don't need to stress about things to the same extent as a full-time artist would, because this is just for me. And then I put it on YouTube, so hope you guys enjoy it too. Okay. I should probably just sign off now. But yeah, I hope you're all doing well, and I'll talk to you in a future video. And I think the next time I find myself in this position where I have nothing ready to go on Sunday, I usually like to have my videos edited on Sunday, or painted on Monday. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's try this again. Words, they're not coming. I usually like to have my paintings finished on Sunday, and then I edit the videos on Monday, and the audio might be recorded on Monday. So this was just too much. If I get to this point again, I will probably just do another sketchbook tour, because that's a lot more low-key and a lot easier to put together, a lot less stressful. So we'll aim for that next time. In the meantime, I hope you're all well and you're taking care of yourself and you're not dealing with stupid expectations, and I will see you again, hopefully in a future video. Thank you. Bye.